On this episode, I've got this guy right here, Bob DeWitt, with me, so that means we're day tripping, and I get to wear my cowboy hat again. So
you like that hat?
I do. I like this hat, and I always feel it's appropriate when we're doing something that's Old West in history.
Yes.
And we're doing that today, Bob.
We are.
So tell the viewers and listeners what we're up to.
We're going to be talking to Jason and Jenny Robinson. We're in Monmouth, Illinois at the Wyatt Earp birthplace, and they rescued this property. It was in pretty bad shape. We've driven by it for years, and it was, I feel it was within a few months of being torn down. So these guys took on a major restoration. They're having an open house on Saturday, so it's still under construction, but it's an incredible place. I followed these guys for years, this museum, and they used to have the old shootouts, and Hugh O'Brien visited, and the owner's just aged, and it just got in disrepair. So you're going to be amazed at what they've done.
Yeah, and you're going to want to stay here. And so I want to let you know that this episode is brought to you by Griner Auto Body of Washington, Iowa, using state-of-the-art techniques and decades of experience to get your car back on the road after an accident. Car Doctor of Washington, Iowa. No matter who Frankensteined it, they can fix and clean and customize it. McDonald Boneyard of Keota, Iowa, for all of your farm equipment and auto recycling needs. Hinshaw Trailer Sales of Richland, Iowa. You need a trailer. They've got your trailer, and they fix what they sell and don't in their full-time repair shop. Girling Repair of Winfield, Iowa. If your mower is dead, call Fred, your Husqvarna, Aaron's, and Gravely dealer. B&B Propane and the family of Jet Stops. And Blue Dog Lawn Care of Wayland, Iowa, for all your residential and commercial lawn care needs. And when the snow starts flying, they'll move that for you too. They all present Southeast Iowa today. I'm John Bain, author of Christie's Journey, The Beat Goes On, and your host. Bob, let's go check it out.
Let's go.
Jenny and Jason, thank you so much for being on Southeast Iowa today and giving Bob and I a tour of what is really incredible, the birthplace of Wyatt Earp, and it's coming soon, an AIRBNB, and sharing your passion, because you have to have passion to be doing a project like this. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming and helping us to get the word out of what we're doing here in Monmouth, Illinois. Jenny and I have been excited to do this project from a year and a half ago, and we're finally getting down to the end of it, and we're excited to share it with the public. We have an open house this Saturday from 9 to 5, September 21st, and we're already set up on Airbnb and VRBO, and you can start booking your stay now. We've got 2 bookings in October, and we're hoping to fill the calendar, so check us out on Airbnb or VRBO.
And the amazing thing is, just to let this sink in for the folks that are watching or listening, this is where Wyatt Earp was born, folks, and you can stay here.
That's correct.
That's incredible.
In the bedroom he was born in.
That's pretty cool. Not too many people can say that they've done that for anybody famous. And Wyatt Earp was born when? Did you say?
1848. So this house was built in 1841. The 2-story part of the house was built in 1841. The 1-story was an addition added on in the 1860s. But wow. Wyatt Earp was born in the 2nd story of this 2-story home. And this was his aunt's home. She rented it. And yeah, we'd love for you to walk through and take a look.
Well, let's go on inside. I really appreciate this opportunity. It's amazing to me that a lot of people, Wyatt Earp is world famous, and there's been movies and television shows and everything else made over the years, books and everything else, but yet there's still people that don't know who Wyatt Earp was.
Yeah, that is true. So Wyatt Earp was, born here in Monmouth, Illinois. He spent some time here in Illinois, then moved over to Iowa, to Pella, Iowa, came back to Illinois, and he was an entrepreneur who had businesses in Arizona, California, Alaska. If you can imagine traveling back then, how difficult it would have been. He really got around.
Yeah, he sure did. And he was a lawman.
Yes, yeah, he was an outlaw and a lawman.
Yeah. And you know, there's something totally American about that statement. He was an outlaw and a lawman.
Right.
And sometimes when situations turn a certain way, you have to be a certain way.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, tell us about this wonderful home.
Well, these hardwood, these are oak floors. This floor would have been original to the addition back in 1840, back in 1860 time frame.
Wow.
And this floor, the oak here, was added.
I just love those floors, Jenny.
Aren't they gorgeous?
They are. They're just incredible. And speaking of floors, it looks like when we go into the original house, we have even a different type of floor.
This part, you can tell, is a little older. This is the original part of the house.
And there's kind of like a little step down, isn't there, Jason?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. So this part that we're now in was built in 1841, if I remember what you said.
Yes. Yeah, that's correct.
This would have been the parlor, the fanciest room in the house.
Okay. And for 1841, this would have been really fancy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Check out
you've
the trim.
Yes. I was just going to say the trim around the windows and on the floor. Wallpaper. Obviously, this is newer wallpaper, but I'm sure it reflects the times, the styles. And
It's an 1860s print.
wow. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty darn fancy because a lot of homes didn't have those extra little.
Right. Yeah. The sitting room usually, the parlor room usually had wallpaper. Is that right, Jenny?
Yep, that would have been where they did their fancy stuff.
Wow. And I have to ask, as we're going through this, how in the world did you two decide to do this project and get this project going?
Well, driving by this house a few years ago, we noticed that it was in a state that was questionable whether or not it would be tore down. So I remember thinking to myself, someone really needs to do something with that property. It's a piece of history that we would hate to lose, especially here in Monmouth where we've grown up. And as I drove further away, I realized, maybe we should be doing this project.
So that someone is you two.
Right. We've renovated close to 200 homes in the Monmouth-Galesburg area over the last 25 years.
Wow.
And so we've got a lot of history in the renovation process with older homes. One of our first homes was an 1860s home, and we loved just the history that home brought, and so we've enjoyed that as we've renovated this. But so that's how we came upon it. We sent a letter to the board members at the time and built some trust with them that we would be opening it up to the public. That was one of their desires, is they wanted the public to still be able to get inside of the house. And so that's what we're doing.
Well, if I was a board member, I would be very pleased at what you've done, because I mean, to me, this is just incredible. This is incredible.
It's neat.
These are some of the things that we found in and around the house. This was found in the walls. This was found in the basement.
Wow.
And then these things in the basement.
Huh. Those are playing cards, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
Playing card box. The cards are gone.
Well,
This is where the original front door was also.
really? Okay. That is awesome. What is the address here?
406 South 3rd Street, Monmouth, Illinois.
All right, I've put that up on the screen now too,
Nice.
so people will be seeing that too.
So we still are not finished. You'll see tools and supplies laying around. We're getting close. This room has
This
milk
will be another bedroom.
Okay.
on the walls, and Jenny can talk about that.
Yeah, tell me, what exactly is milk paint?
Okay, we tried to make our own
Uh-huh.
using milk that we had let sit and separate.
Now, is this
And
whole milk or 2% skim?
It's supposed to be skim milk.
Okay.
We did not get rid of enough of the fat that we had in our milk, and so it caused us problems. But we ended up purchasing milk paint
Okay.
online, and this is the purchased milk paint.
So, and I think, and I'm seeing it on my screen now, you'll see some areas where it looks a little shaded different, but that's what
it
does.
Was. Yep.
And some cracking.
Yep, that's what the milk paint does.
So if you're staying here, you're going to get the real experience with modern day touches.
That's correct.
And personally, I look back and I think, I have friends that like to rough it and all that, and I've done enough history, studied enough history that the folks that lived back in history when they were roughing it, they were still trying to get the best and the most modern any chance they could. So I don't see anything wrong with that. So, I mean, indoor plumbing, running water, running water, I'll go with the milk paint.
Right. We've got a 1800s gas stove that's being worked on here by John Wilson, who used to own Independent Heating and Cooling here in Monmouth. Okay. And he's cleaning it up and changing out some parts that needed to be changed. But that is a really cool stove for the kitchen. And we are talking about how we can make it safe and convenient for somebody to use.
Sure.
And we've been talking about.
He said a gas stove from that time period is very rare.
Yeah. And we're looking at inserts to put in, that someone could use, but the outside shell would still have that 1800s look.
That is just so cool. I mean, people that are seeing this, they're going to be like, we've got to go here.
That's the hope.
I hope that people will find it fun to see what things used to be like.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know how they couldn't.
We forgot to show you the ice chest that's in the kitchen, so we need to go back there and show you that.
We will check that out. Yeah. Now this is
this is another bedroom.
Okay.
And this is in the one-story part of the house that was built in the 1860s. And the ceilings are taller.
Yeah, they sure are.
In the addition.
Well, by that time, Abe Lincoln was well over 6 foot, so there had to be other folks that were taller too, I would hope.
Yeah. He actually spoke just a few blocks down from here. There's a plaque that talks about his speech, and there's been discussion about how long of a speech it was. I believe it was 3 to 3.5 hours long, but that's just 2 blocks from here.
Isn't that amazing? And I bet there were thousands of people that were probably here, depending on what era of his career he was in. Yeah. And
so this is the bathroom, and we have an open house in a day and a half. And as you can see, we are not ready for that.
Well, I'll tell you, I need to thank you for your time, because I know how valuable your time is, especially in crunch time, for giving us this sneak peek.
We're glad to have you come by. Let's check out that ice box.
Yes. How cool is that?
Yeah, this is a new refrigerator freezer, and we shipped it to, I wish I knew the company's name. They're in Ohio, and they wrapped this for us to make it look like an ice box.
But they actually wrapped it with real wood.
Yes.
Look at that.
It is so cool. Even the top is wrapped with wood.
That is incredible. I have a white clad ice box, an antique at home, same style oak woodwork and stuff, and I'm like, this is just cool. Too cool.
I love it.
That is neat.
Let's check out the upstairs where Wyatt Earp was born.
Okay.
Careful, watch your head.
Yes. They've got, when you're 6'3", some of these door frames are a little short. And I just really appreciate, too, I have another opportunity to wear my cowboy hat and not podcast. So that is really fun for me.
That's great.
This is neat.
So this is one of the bedrooms upstairs. We're getting closer to having it ready. And the other bedroom that's up here is where Wyatt Earp was born.
Okay, so right across the little stairway, hallway, I guess. And this is actually where Wyatt Earp was born in this room.
That's correct.
Wow. And what was the year he was born again?
1848.
1848. And folks that may not know it, Wyatt Earp, as we said earlier when we were downstairs, he was all over the country. He got around, and he lived until the 1920s.
Yeah.
And he was actually in Hollywood,
Yes.
talking to cowboy actors that were making cowboy movies, and he was giving them authentic experience.
Yes. Yeah, he was a consultant for Hollywood, and he also has, from my understanding, there's still a bar open in California that he was part of. And
That's cool.
yeah, he really got around, and the amount that he was involved in business just goes to show you what kind of entrepreneur he was.
Oh, I imagine so. Well, I want to just go downstairs and show some of the pictures real quick, and we'll do that in a different segment. We'll wrap up this segment and then go downstairs.
Sounds good.
I hope you're enjoying this episode as much as Bob and I enjoy bringing it to you. If so, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe. It's free. Jenny, you've got a lot of pictures and frames here that I assume are going to go on the wall here. Where
Yes, everything's numbered and has a place on the wall. It just has to be put up.
So I'm looking, and there's just so much about Wyatt Earp. The Indian says Wyatt Earp, not like TV.
Yes, we thought this was interesting because he's telling about how he had met Wyatt Earp, and the stuff he was seeing wasn't what he thought. He says he's nothing like his TV counterpart.
And his
Pressed,
TV
polished, amorous, and talkative. He was never rough, and he treated everybody, including Indians, with courtesy. One thing that set him apart, he never laughed out loud, and all the time I knew him, I never heard him laugh.
Isn't that something?
Isn't that interesting? He
And
was
his-
very conservative in dress.
And that was 1961, right?
Yes.
And his TV counterpart was Hugh O'Brien. So you folks that are wondering who that is, use your favorite search engine and look up Hugh O'Brien. What else you got there?
This is some family of Wyatt Earp. This is Nicholas Porter Earp and Virginia Ann Cooksey Earp, parents of the Earp boys.
So, oh, well, this was their house then.
Well,
Or-
no, this was their aunts.
Oh, this was their aunts. Okay.
Yes. So they were staying here with family.
Gotcha. Okay. That is cool. So those folks were definitely in this house at some time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we've got the Earp, all the Earp boys here with Wyatt.
James, Virgil, Morgan, and Wyatt. Wow.
And this is a copy of the Tombstone newspaper on the day of the gunfight.
Wow. Yesterday's tragedy. 3 men hurled into eternity in the duration of a moment. Wow. That's some pretty creative headlining right there.
Yes.
This is so cool.
That was big news.
Yeah. I'll tell you, just being here, there's so much potential for people. I mean, I think you're going to be busy a lot. I think people are going to be coming here a lot. And just seeing the outside, I have premonitions that there's more in the future.
Yeah. Well, so this is a 501c3, which is a non-for-profit entity, and as a Airbnb, those funds will be put into a separate account. There'll be taxes paid on that, but the rest of the money after taxes will be dumped back into the non-for-profit. And our hopes is that we will get enough revenue from the Airbnb that we can keep this house from getting into the condition that it got into before. To repair things that need to be repaired, to restore items that need to be restored. And so that is our hope. And hopefully down the road, if there's enough interest, we would be able to build around this and build more. That's the hope.
That is really something. Now, do you have a Facebook page or a website that people can learn more about?
Yeah, so if you go to any social media platform and just search Wyatt Earp Birthplace, you will find us.
Okay.
We have been shooting videos of the process of this restoration of this home for the last year, and those are all on many different platforms. So just look up Wyatt Earp Birthplace.
Very well. Bob, before we wrap it up, do you have any questions for these fine folks?
I'm back. No, I'm excited to see this. I remember this in the heyday when Hugh O'Brien was here, and I think that was 08, and the community really gathered around this place. And I remember what the museum looked like then, and honestly, this is so much better. And to me, it's more period than the museum was back in those days. So I'm excited somebody's saving this, because my wife and I drive by this, I'll bet once a month for the last couple of years, and I just seen it deteriorating. So when I seen Jason's Facebook page that he was saving it, I was more than a little bit excited, because this is unbelievable what you're doing with it.
Well, this is why I bring Bob along sometimes, because he knows the good places to day trip, and not very far from Southeast Iowa. And it's just people watching, you need to visit this and keep in touch. I wish you both great luck on Saturday, which is only just 2 days away.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
You're welcome. Thanks to Jason and Jenny for that tour. This is going to be an incredible place. It already is, and it's going to be even more incredible. Bob, thank you for day tripping and with me again and getting us here.
Enjoyed it. It was nice to see the progress they've made, and you're going to want to stay here, people.
You sure are. And I want to thank our sponsors: Griner Auto Body, Car Doctor, McDonald Boneyard, Hinshaw Trailer Sales, Girling Repair, B&B Propane and the family of Jet Stops, and Blue Dog Lawn Care. I'm your host, John Bain. Stay friendly, Southeast Iowa.